Guys, how are you? So I know it's been a while since I've done a video. I've been out for a little bit, not feeling so good, but I'm back. And today we're gonna do something a little different. Today we're gonna do a tutorial video, and then we're going to put it all together for one big baking video. So today we're gonna start off with one of my favorite, all-time, most requested chocolate Hershey's cake. And after that, then we're gonna do a simple chocolate ganache, and then we're gonna do another one of my most requested peanut butter buttercreams. And then tomorrow we'll put it all together for this big cake, and it's going with my husband to his work for them. I like to bake for them. I love to bake for them. They're just so hard. He works for Caterpillar, and they're very hard workers, and they're so appreciative. And I love to do birthdays for them, their families, and all of that. So we're gonna get started with the chocolate cakes, and these are gonna be 2 8-inch rounds. So what we're gonna start off with, and I found this recipe a couple years ago. It's actually from Hershey's. It was on one of their websites, and ever since then I've just paired it, and it seems to be I don't know lately, but just for a long time, chocolate cake, peanut butter ganache, not peanut butter buttercream, and I just do the chocolate ganache as the dam to hold it in the peanut butter buttercream. And I make these into cupcakes too. They make a ton of cupcakes, so I can do 2 8-inch rounds or a ton of cupcakes. Either way. So we're gonna start off with the cake first, and while the cakes are cooking, then we'll do the ganache, which is really quick, and then we'll work on the peanut butter buttercream. So for the cakes, we're going to start off with 2 cups of granulated sugar, and then we're going to do 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, and then we have over here 3/4 cup of cocoa powder, unsweetened Hershey's cocoa powder, and we're going to sift that because cocoa powder, as we all know, has a tendency to clump. So we're going to do that. And then we have 1 1/2 teaspoons each of baking powder and baking soda. And we have 1 teaspoon of salt. And then we have 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. We have a full cup of milk. Over here, I don't want to spill it. We have 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. And for I don't know if you say if it's a secret ingredient. Everyone says, "Ooh, it's a secret ingredient," but it's out there, so I guess it's not a secret. But for this, we're gonna use 1 cup of coffee that I have made. I brewed it strong because it suggests you use strong coffee, and I'm going to put it in the microwave for about a good 2.5 minutes to boil, bring it to boiling. And we're going to add this to the cake. And when I have it going, I'll tell you when we're going to add it. And as it says, with the coffee, you won't, now I can't taste it, obviously, as you know, I can't taste anything that I make, but from what I hear, you can't taste the coffee. It's just the coffee enhances the taste of the chocolate cake. And I can tell you, when I cut into my cakes, out of any cake that I make, this is the most moist cake that I make, is this. And as you will see, the cake mix, it looks runny, but when you bake it, it's not a runny cake. It's just a very, very moist cake. So, and I have prepared my 2 8-inch rounds, and I have put a piece of parchment paper underneath. I will spray these, put the parchment back down, and spray on top of the parchment paper, and we'll get to that. So I'm going to get set up, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, in the mixer I have together the sugar, the flour, the cocoa that I sifted into it, the baking powder, baking soda, and the salt. And then we're just going to mix to combine all of those in here. And I did forget, you guys, I'm sorry, 2 eggs. They were sitting on the side, so out of sight, out of mind. I'm sorry. But there are 2 eggs in this. And we're also going to have our oven preheating to 350 while we're doing that. So we're just gonna spin this around just for a quick minute to get these mixed together. Low speed. Get them all nice and combined. Just so you can see that they're all mixed. So that looks, whoa! Dust, wrong way, sorry, can't see on this side. That's what'll happen. Woo, smells good though. Yeehaw. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our wet to it. On low first, obviously. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna add our eggs. Bloop. Bloop. Have my trusty little out. Because as you know, I get everything. Okay, got our eggs in. Let that mix for a second. Now we're going to add our cup of milk. Slowly. That comes together. Now we're going to add our vanilla. That comes together. Going to add our half cup of vegetable oil. Kind of slosh around in there. Together very nicely. We're going to mix this for about 2 minutes. I'm going to stop it, scrape the bowl, the mixer, and then we're going to come back and then we're going to add the coffee. We'll be right back. Okay, so we've been mixing for about 2 minutes and this is what it looks like. It's very, very thick. It's almost like a brownie pudding batter. So this is where our coffee comes in. And I've just got done microwaving it for 2.5 minutes. So I'm going to take it out of the microwave. Be very careful because it's hot and boiling. Okay. Now, I'm going to add this before I turn this on. And then I'm going to mix it a little bit before I turn the mixer on as well. As you can see the steam, hot. Mother of Mary and Joseph. Try not to burn yourself. Set that aside. Okay. Just going to try to mix this a little bit. Otherwise we will have havoc on our hands. Get that loosened a little bit. Okay, now we can turn this on. There we go. Perfect. Okay, and we're gonna mix that for another 2 minutes to let it get really nicely incorporated. And we'll be right back. Okay, all done with that, adding the coffee, and I'll show you the big difference between the consistency. Yes, it is very runny. It's almost like chocolate ganache, actually. So, have my 2 8-inch rounds, which I sprayed, and a lot of people use so many different things like butter, flour, cornstarch, whatever. I use this, it's called Baker's Joy, and this one actually has flour in it. So this is what I tend to use, and I've used this for years. It's very inexpensive, actually. I get it at Walmart. And I absolutely love this. The fact that it has flour in it, I don't have to butter it, flour it, shake it around, mess with it. Okay, just get it all over me. Why not? Anywho's, so that's what I did. And I use my little tiny little brush, smoosh it around, get it in the corners, baking paper. I do have a scale, so I could mess with all that. But then again, you know, still not feeling 100%, so I'm not going to go through all that. I'm going to eyeball it. Whichever one's bigger, going to use on the bottom. It's a bunch of guys. They're just going to attack it. You know, hey. So, I mixed it around. I'm just going to go ahead and do my thing. Fill the bottom first. Chocolate heaven, heaven. Yes, I sing to myself. Do my back and forth eyeballing. And these will, being that they're so moist and fluffy with that coffee, they will puff up, which for me is a good thing because I love it when cakes puff up so much in their pan. So when I go to level, and now I do have a cake level or two. So lazy right now, my goodness. But when they puff up in their pans to where I can just take my serrated knife to it and just be like, yes, I don't have to break out the leveler. Wipe it down. Do all of that good stuff. Hey, man, that's good. What do you know? Something. Not math, I can tell you that. Man, not my subject. Boy, I'm getting off the beaten path, aren't I? Well, anywho's, it's fun talking to you guys. It's like that, you know, you sit there and you're talking to yourself. Well, I don't know if you do, but I do. I have many conversations because my brain never shuts off. I'll tell you what, thinking about cakes and all this fun stuff. It's like, what am I making next? How can I do this? How can I do that? So anywho's, so that's that. Take my little owl. It's good for this too. You scrape your big one and it gets all of it off of that one. You can go back and forth so you don't. I'm telling you guys, with anything, I don't like to miss any of this. With dinners, with desserts, I don't like to miss anything. Now, if my daughter was here, or my husband, they'd be licking it, so never miss it. So, and I don't know if I ever showed you guys this. This is my little cupcake that I set my little spatulas and stuff on. My twin sister Amy made this for me in Idaho. Isn't that precious? I just love it. So, God, I love her. My other half, I tell you what. Everyone's out there trying to find theirs. I got to grow mine. So we're going to shake these, obviously. Get the air bubbles. Smack it. Like we're taught to. Shake it, wiggle it, do a little dance. Whatever you want to do. Whatever makes you happy. Get these in the oven, 350 for 35-40 minutes, depending on your oven temperature, okay? It'll depend on that. When we get back, we're going to do very quick chocolate ganache, and then we'll do our peanut butter buttercream. Okay. Alright guys, we are back. So the cakes are done and out of the oven. It took about 37 minutes for mine to be done. They're out, they're cooling, and I'm going to stick them over on a cooling rack, let them cool completely, and then since I'm not going to be putting this all together until in 2 days, I'll put it together. So I'll let them cool completely, take them out, cover them with saran wrap, keep them in the fridge until we're done. So that's that. Now we're going to move on to the chocolate ganache. So what I have here is 11.5 ounce bag of Hershey's milk chocolate. in a bowl. And then I have 1.5 cups of heavy cream that I just took out of the microwave, and it's bubbling. Normally I would put this on the stove and bring it to not a boiling, just until you see the bubbles around the edges, which is what this did in the microwave. Again, just cheating today. And I have 1 tablespoon of room temperature butter. I'm going to stick on top of that. And then I'm going to pour the hot heavy cream. Ooh, very hot, very hot, very hot. Over that. And I'm going to let it sit without even touching it. I'm going to let it sit for about 2 to 3 minutes and just let it melt the chocolate without disturbing it. Then I'm going to come back to it and give it a good whisk. So then we'll come right back. Okay. Okay, it's been 2 minutes and I covered it with a towel. You can cover it with a paper plate. You can cover it with anything, just as long as you trap the heat in and let it warm. I'm going to go ahead and start whisking this. Start off slowly. I don't know if I can bring this in closer so we can get a better look. No, it needs to be higher. I'll show you. Just want to distribute that heat from the cream and get that butter melted. And what that butter is going to do is that butter is going to make it very shiny and glossy. And since we're not using it today and we want to get it thick, we're going to cover it with saran wrap, and we're going to make sure that when we place that, we're going to place it on top. We're not just going to cover the bowl. We're going to press it down on top of this because we don't want it to get a film on top, because it will create this just really nasty looking film on top. So we're going to press it down on there. And then we're going to keep it in the fridge. And when we come back in 2 days and we put this all together, we're actually going to whip it up in the mixer. And we're not going to use the whip attachment because I don't want to create air. I don't want it to be a fluffy whipped ganache, which I have made and is very beautiful and people absolutely adore. But what I'm going to use this for is I'm going to use this for a dam between the layer of the 2 cakes to hold that peanut butter buttercream in so it doesn't ooze out. So I do still want this to be thick, but I also want it to be creamy at the same time. So I'm just going to use the paddle attachment and just give it a whip, but also keep it thick at the same time. And I know it sounds kind of redundant and awkward, but I'll show you. Don't worry. Trust me. Most of the time I know what I'm saying. Unless it's a recipe I'm trying that's not mine. Then I have no clue. And we're in this together. So this is coming together very nicely. I'm using my trusty little cake stand. Waka waka. Little turntable. Sometimes when I'm decorating the cake and I'm spinning it around, I like to pretend I'm a DJ. Things we do to entertain ourselves when we're decorating. Crazy. Do you notice my shirt too? Coffeeholic. It's because the cake I made, the Hershey cake, I was adding the coffee to it. I know. What are you gonna do? This is absolutely stunning. Very creamy, very glossy. Don't worry, I'm gonna give you a close-up. So it is all mixed. I just checked the bottom for any straggler chocolate chips, because it does tend to happen. A really good mix here. Don't want any of those to be left behind. Again, you know me. chip around, lift the bowl. Okay, we are all good. Butter's melted, chocolate chips are melted. It is beautiful. Switch that, and I'm gonna come in here with a spatula. Loosen this. I knew I got this for a reason. I'm gonna come around the sides here and get everything off the side, because there was some cream that came up the side. This looks like that river in Willy Wonka of chocolate. Look at that. Woo! Okay, now I gotta come in here with my finger. Boy, how I wish I could lick this. But it's okay. It is okay. Doink, 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 doink. Okay, that in the sink. Give it a good rinse. Wipe off. Show you guys how beautiful this is. Ta-da! See? All melted. So, as you can tell now, it's very liquidy. So, we are going to cover this, like I said, with the cling wrap, or like I like to call it, cling to me, or anything other than what it's supposed to. Gosh, this is so tricky. See, look at that. Ugh. I'm gonna get it in here somehow. See, and you just gotta press it down in here. Make sure it gets on top of the ganache. And not the bowl. Or you. Or maybe you want it to get on you, I don't know. Fun with cling wrap. Press it down in there on top of it. And make sure it gets to the side of the bowl too. Because the goal is to get the air to not get to the ganache, so it doesn't form that film. So press it on top of the ganache and right up where the ganache meets the bowl. And that's how we're going to prevent that film. Get on. And that is our ganache. Okay. And then, since this video is running so long, I'll stop this one, and then I'll make another one for the peanut butter buttercream. Alright. See you guys soon.